G'day mates, Cake11 here and welcome to the 1999 Australian Grand Prix beamed straight out of EA Sports F1 Career Challenge. Yes, we are finally here, the main event of my Formula 1 Challenge, F1 Career Challenge. Now this game was released in 2002 as a swan song to EA Sports F1 series, which lasted only a handful of years, but still, they weren't too bad games. Actually, those games introduced me to Formula 1 gaming and Formula 1 in general, although I wouldn't have a big interest in it for several years to come. And also quite noteworthy of the game is its PC counterpart, F1 Challenge 99-02, where although it was pretty much not as good as a version as F1 Career Challenge on its own, but it has provided a good modifying platform for all manner of mods, including one that has every single season of Formula 1 up to 2014 installed. So both games really good. I would seriously recommend you guys play them. If you're just coming into this series for the first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Cake11 and I'm doing a series of videos to create a sort of a virtual F1 career based around this game, but I also did the 2 years preceding. I'm using F1 97 and F1 98 to flesh out a proper 6 years. Now, I've already done 2. The first season was with Stewart, which I went really well, and then the second season with Benetton, which I ended up winning the World Championship by race wins. I drew with Mika Hakkinen after winning the final race of the season in Japan. So as such, I start the 1999 season as the first Australian World Champion in 19 years. But even still, with driving in a Benetton, I'm obviously going to have the McLarens of Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard and the Ferraris of Eddie Irvine and Michael Schumacher right behind me. And I wouldn't be too surprised that my own teammate, Giancarlo Fisichella, will be up behind me as well. Anyway, looking at 1999 as a whole, some changes in comparison to 1998. First, we've got a brand new team, British American Racing. Now, they bought out Tyrrell at the end of 1997, but allowed the team to continue as it was through 1998 before becoming the new BAR team for 1999. Also noteworthy of having one of the most unusual liveries in Formula 1. Originally, the plan was to have one car, one tobacco branding, because it was owned by British American Tobacco, and another car, a different colour, one blue, one white. But Bernie Eccleston wouldn't allow that, so the compromise was half the car was in one livery and the other half of the car was in another, which looked a bit unusual. But it was only done for one season. They gradually went back to the red and white livery for 2000 onwards. The two drivers that are going to be driving on that team is Jacques Villeneuve, who in real life was the 97 world champion. In this, he was just picked to the post on that season. And also a new driver, Brazilian Ricardo Zonta. So everybody will be looking to see how the new BAR team will go in their first season. As far as driver movements, Williams has a brand new pairing in the form of Alex Zanardi, who returned to the sport after several years of IndyCars, and also Ralf Schumacher, virtually a seat swap with Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who was gone off to Ralf Schumacher's old team, Jordan. The other drivers that have changed is Johnny Herbert. He goes to Stewart, replacing Jos Verstappen, and Pedro Diniz has replaced Herbert at Sauber. And new drivers to enter in the season is Spaniard Pedro de la Rosa. He will be joining Jos Verstappen in the Arrows team, I believe. Zonta, as we mentioned earlier, plus another Spaniard by the name of Marc Jenner. He's going to be driving with Minardi team. And now looking at, and as far as tracks is concerned, are relatively the same as it was in 1998, but we've got a brand new track, the Malaysian Grand Prix. Now it replaces the Argentinian Grand Prix, and it's going to be located at the brand new Sepang circuit just outside KL. And Other games I've played on this track, I've had really good success. So hopefully when we reach that, which is, I believe, the final race of the season, or near the final race of the season, it should be a very interesting race. Also noteworthy, the Nürburgring is, for the first time in a couple of years, being known as the European Grand Prix, not the Luxembourg. So with that, let's get down straight to the grid. I'm not going to do any more real life recaps, unless by popular demand. Eddie Irvine starts the race in pole, followed by Michael Schumacher, the two Ferraris on the front row, followed by the two McLarens of Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard. Interestingly, they're over half a second behind Irvine, so that's interesting. Herbert done a really good job in starting Stewart in 5th place, followed by Alex Zanardi in the Williams. Now it's Rubens Barrichello in the second Stewart, 1.14 seconds behind, and then the Kent Levin in the Benetton, 8th place. Got to work very hard if he wants to get to that top spot and replicate last year's good performance. Jean Alesi starts in 11th place with Sauber, followed by Hightail Frenton, 12th place in his new Jordan team. Then Olivier Panis in his 3rd season, I think, with Prost, and then Pedro Diniz in the 2nd Sauber. My teammate Giancarlo Fisichella starts in 15th place, next to Jarno Trulli. Trulli is way off the pace compared to Fisichella. Then the new boy, Pedro Della Rosa in the Arrows, and Jacques Villeneuve, 18th in the BARs. Pretty much the same as it was last year, not good for the new BAR team. Then it's Marc Genet, Toru Takagi, and then rounding out the back of the grid, Luca Padoa, and Minardi, and Ricardo Zonta in the BAR. Here we go on the grid, and the lights are going to cut down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1999 is underway. Relatively okay. Jean Lacey, you think he's going to get me on the side? No, I'm right behind Rubens Barrichello, my Austrian teammate, as we come to the first corner. Oh, it's very slow. Oh, wow, I'm in 6th place. Almost going right beside her, that as we go through that first corner. That plus second corner. Now we're going to blast towards a really tight hairpin at corner number 3. That. Not too bad there. Looks like I got a good gap between the two Stewarts down the middle. Sounds like somebody's spun off. Sounds like someone's just been hit. I gotta concentrate on those and maybe make a few notes for the future, because now I can't turn off the pit lane comment. So next time I do like the Brazilian Grand Prix onwards, I have to make notes of where that they would have announcements, make notes of that, so I can incorporate this into my commentary. But what can you do? But I did get the hot sector. Now, if you look on the left-hand side, as we go through each of the track, there are different like achievements, like cards you can collect based on how we go through the race. It's a matter of thinking, whoa, David Coulthard's pulled off to the side. I'm not sure what's happened to his McLaren, but it's not good for his 1999 effort, particularly because McLaren wants a Drivers' Championship, not just a Constructors' Championship. Looks like a few people have gone to the pits. Yes, we have got the return of the pits after a year's absence. And, even better, this is completely interactive. So it's not just pull in, timer, and then go like a 97. This is proper. You'll see in a few more laps. As I look towards, wow, and then 3rd place by Mika Hakkinen. So that's not too bad. And my old teammate Rubens Barrichello is right behind me as I get very loose coming into that corner and go off the grass. Hopefully that won't be considered cheating, because, yeah. But I think I might just get off with a warning on that one. And as we come through, not Bradman Jones, corner 6 and 7, should I say. Sorry, I've just got a bit of a cold, so my voice might not be, I might be coughing. And I go off again at Clark. I need to get my head in together if I really want to pass Hakkinen. I can look at the minimap on the right-hand side. I got Hakkinen and then the leader ahead of me. I'm curious to see who that is. Probably Eddie Irvine, considering that Michael Schumacher has pitted, but not Irvine. And Irvine was better than Hakkinen by over half a second. So I can see Irvine pretty much winning this race, but we shall see. So you finish our go through Dascari, then Stewart. Hey, my old team boss. As we complete our second lap of 6. Now, the majority of these pits are going to be roughly halfway. Oh! Eddie Irvine and Mika Hakkinen have gone into the pits to do their one and only pit stop, which should give me the lead. I'm not sure for how long, though. Because I've yet to pit in. I got a pit in this lap, so last win in C. David Coulthard is right behind me, so I think he managed to sort out the problems he had earlier on, and now he's in second place, or unless he's pitted already. I'm not sure, but he's catching up quite okay. As I was saying about those cards, yeah, you get chicane passes, overtaking one, and a hotspot where you have to try and complete a particular part in a couple of seconds. You normally get in within the first couple of laps, and it just becomes too hard. 4 seconds. Although, if Coulthard has pitted, that... Oh, that's good to hear. Gene Culler's got another position. Anyway, if Coulthard hasn't pitted, then he's going to pass me as soon as I enter in the pits. 4 seconds isn't a big enough gap to go in the pits, sort out my business, and come out relatively away from the next place. 4.2 seconds, so it hasn't changed. So we're running at pretty much the same pace. So it seems to me that the Benetton Playlife from 1999 is in good hands. A market improvement, may I add, over the 98 competitor. Let's just hope it's reflected in a good World Championship, as I'm off the grass again, but not lotteries. And I'm going into the pits. Now, interactive. You brake to 50 miles per hour. 44 is a bit too slow. With an up ahead, I need to slow down enough so I can enter in the pit bay appropriately, which I need to slow down to 12 mile an hour, which is way too slow for 4. That's not very good at all. So that is going to really affect my position. And I think I heard Coulthard... Oh, Häkkönen's having trouble. Gear up, press R1. Looks like, what's his face? Coulthard has entered in the pits. Yes, he has. And as such, I've been overtaken by a lot of people. But yeah, that's your interactive pit stop for you. And you're going to be seeing that throughout the entire season for this and the next couple. And I'm down in 7th place, so not the best pit stop at all, and that's probably going to cost me the race. Although, one thing I did notice is that some of the drivers ahead is Jana Lacey in the Sauber and Heintal Frentzen in the Jordan. So that's going to be very interesting. We'll see how this race goes, because I'm at half distance. I've got 3 laps to go. If I can keep my crap together! Let's see how we go. I got Eddie Irvine behind me in the Ferrari, so... Yeah, his pit stop. Well, he pitted earlier, so... Oh, somebody's gone off! David Coulthard! And... Nah, I managed to keep my cool, and he managed to join ahead of me. But that lost him a lot of time. I got... Unless I'm very much mistaken, I'm going to overtake Coulthard! Yes, I am very much mistaken. Past Coulthard, but not very clean. And I hate to see what Coulthard's going to say with me in the pits. And look up ahead, we got Rubens Barrichello in the Stewart, my own teammate. Looks like Stewart is back up to the mid-pack mantle after a really chilmitous 1998 with no point score between him or Jos Verstappen. Oh yeah, sorry about what I said. I didn't think so. Oh, Barrichello's off. Yes, the Renault-based Playlife engine is better than the Ford Works engine. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, Verstappen's not in this season. The two Arrows drivers is Toru Takagi and Pedro de la Rosa. My mistake there. As we're coming across the pit straight now to start our penultimate lap, I've got Rubens Barrichello behind me and then Heinz-Held Frentzen in the Jordan behind me. And I've got a slipstream. Will I overtake him as I come into the first corner? Yes! Very bold move. You gotta love that new slipstream feature. Stay behind someone long enough, you get like a turbo boost, get out of the slipstream, you activate that boost. So, in a way, it's a precursor to Kurz, but better. Oh, looks like it up ahead's Michael Schumacher and Mika Häkkinen. They're in a fierce battle for second position. If something goes wrong, I'm right behind them to pounce. Oh, this is getting tight now. Oh, yes! Häkkinen has flinched! Häkkinen has flinched! And I've got Mika Häkkinen on the right-hand side. So, Kent Levin is now into third place behind Michael Schumacher and... Jana Lacey? Wow, he's going really, really well. If he keeps going like this, he's going to give Sauber its first ever win, roughly 9 years early, because Robert Kubica gave Sauber, under the guise of BMW Sauber, its first race win in 2008, the Canadian Grand Prix. Well, if this is the case, then we should see a Swiss flag on the table of constructor race wins. If it goes well, oh, Schumacher's gone off as well. Everybody's gone off, both at Clark and at Ascari. Oh, sorry, that was one of the arrows, and that almost sent me flying off. So come across the final corner at Prost now. Oop, bit off the... Okay, penultimate. Now this is the final corner, and as we start our final lap, the positions are Jana Lacey first, Michael Schumacher second, Kent Levin third, Mika Häkkinen fourth. And then Hightail Frenton, I assume, is 5th place and followed by Rubens Barrichello. I'm not so sure. And then maybe Coulthard. Think about Jean Alesi. If he wins this race, it'll be also his, personally, first race win since the 1997 Belgian Grand Prix. I remember he was driving Benetton, I was in Stewart. We were battling really, really hard in the rain. I was in the lead, but towards the end, I think before Blanchimont, I got a bit wide like that and completely spun out, giving Alesi the win, and in turn Michael Schumacher 2nd place. So I was very happy with myself here. Then Jean went to Sauber. Had a alright year, a few points here and there, but nothing really much to talk about. This should be big for Sauber, potentially, if they're able to use the momentum from here and to keep going. Well, I haven't seen Zanardi, so he's probably behind me, unless I can see someone up ahead, which I haven't. To go through corners 11 and 12 now, not too bad now. Going across the final part of the lap, I can see just ahead. Nothing's really changed. Michael Schumacher's off again, but I lock up in the rear, so there's no chance of chasing Michael Schumacher. But still, Sauber, been in the sport for nearly a decade, been a little battlers, but keep pushing, and finally it has paid off as we come across the final corner now. Take a bow, Jean Alesi, Sauber Petronas, that's his car, winners of the 1999 Australian Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher in 2nd, and then Kent Levins in 3rd, and then Hakkinen, Frentzen, Barrichello, and to round out the points competitions, Herbert and Irvine round out the top 8, followed by Zanardi and Hannes. Coulthard finishes 11th, and my teammate finishes in 12th position. Retirements of this race, Marc Genet in the Minardi early on. So all in all, a very, very exciting race. And congratulations to Sauber Petronas for the first ever race win. And it's just a testament to the small Swiss team that although they haven't really gone up very high in the Formula 1 so far, but they've pulled along nicely, and they're like, if I use Wipeout, one of my favorite games as a comparison, the Pfizer of Formula 1, in my opinion. So congratulations to them. And just in a minute, we'll just cross over to the championship tables. There we go. Like it was at the start, Alesi is in the lead, followed by Mike Schumacher and Kent Levin. 10-6, 4 points exactly. Hakkinen with 3 points. Hightail Frentzen, 2 points for Jordan. And Rubens Barrichello, 1 point for Stewart. And it's reflected here. Sauber on 10, Ferrari on 6, Benetton on 4, McLaren on 3, Jordan on 2, and Stewart on 1. So all in all, very interesting race. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and a great introduction to F1 Career Challenge. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this race, and I hope it was exciting to watch. Finally, we got the better graphics of the PS2, and etc., all that jazz. So I thank you all very much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video in Brazil.